When I was 10 years old, I stopped eating meat. It wasn't a long, complicated decision full of cheating and suffering, but instead a simple one. I just decided one night before dinner that I would become vegetarian, and then I did. Soon afterwards, I became aware of the incredible incapability for people to mind their own business. Everyone felt they had to comment on my choice, and either call me an idiot or act like I was Jesus risen from the dead, like not eating meat was some godly power. But what struck me the most was the mass amount of people reporting to me that no, I was wrong. Animals in the food industry don't actually suffer when they're being killed. I wondered, what kind of research led you to this conclusion? Guilt or ignorance? Let me begin with a few facts. 99% of the meat industry suppliers are factory farms. This means grocery stores, fast food joints, restaurants, etc. A factory farm is basically just a glorified slaughterhouse, where meat is mass-produced using cruel and unhealthy methods. When chicks are first born on one of these farms, they're split roughly in half. Half to be used for eggs and the other half for breast. On the egg-laying side of that spectrum, the chicks are placed on a conveyor belt, where workers sort through them to decipher if they're male or female. Male chicks are no use to the industry, since they can't produce eggs or be used for breast. So male chicks are placed in a machine that grinds them alive. Female chicks are placed in a different machine, one that swiftly cuts their beak off. Egg-laying chicks are placed in very small cages with 10 to 15 other chickens. This very close proximity is alarming to the chickens, and in frustration they often lash out at each other. The removal of their beak is in order to avoid any serious conflict, but that isn't to say that the removal of their beak doesn't cause any pain or suffering to them. And of course there are a few chicks that escape death through the grinding machine or fall off the conveyor belt. These chicks are stomped to death by the workers. Chicken being used for breast meat usually end up looking like this. Various drugs are inserted into the chickens in order to make their breasts grow as large as possible. This has been shown to cause defects in both the generations of chickens as well as those consuming them. The chickens' legs often end up breaking because they physically cannot support the massive size of their chest. Dogs are often referred to as a man's best friend. I have 3 dogs, and I love them to death. We feed them, take care of them, and remark them for their beauty and intelligence. Pigs are 7 times smarter than dogs, but would you ever treat a dog like this? Pigs are kept in areas called gestation crates. Since pigs are such social and friendly animals, this constriction literally drives them insane. They become depressed and even suicidal, rubbing their skin against the metal until it becomes bloody and raw. In order to save money, workers will feed pigs literally anything, including feces, trash, and even the corpses of other animals. The pigs, driven desperate by hunger, will eat it. This is the same udder that produces milk many of us drink daily. This udder is also infected with mastitis, a disease that affects approximately 2/3 of dairy cows. Mastitis is caused by infection and bacteria infestation of the udder, which in turn is caused by drugs injected into the cows in order to make them produce more milk. Dairy cows don't see sunlight until they're slaughtered. They're often dragged out by a trailer. They can't walk since their bones are so underdeveloped, and then they're left in the field until they eventually die from exposure. Another form of cow meat, veal, faces even more constricting conditions. These baby cows, often raised for veal at birth and slaughtered at 3 to 4 months old, are kept in crates so small they can't even move to stand up. This forces them to spend their entire lives lying down, strapped around their waist and legs in order to keep them from moving even a few inches. This makes veal so tender, which is valued in the meat industry. Victor Hugo once said, "Animals run no risk of going to hell. They are there already." In the US today, there are currently no laws regarding factory farming or animal cruelty in the food industry. Health inspectors often turn a blind eye in order to keep the mass production of meat running. These animals don't have a voice, and they need someone to speak for them. I'm not asking you to become a vegetarian or to become an animal rights activist, but please, don't pretend that these animals' suffering doesn't exist.